How are you feeling about stepping into the month of October? Stepping into the fall season this year in 2025. How do you feel you are doing with your boundaries with certain people in your life? Right? How are your relationships feeling? Are they adding to your life? Are they draining you? Are you feeling more anxious in some relationships and some encounters compared to others? Okay, do you feel the need to people please, not upset, this certain person, or do you feel like you're walking on eggshells? So that's the first question I want to ask you, okay, on how you are feeling about stepping into this month of October. The second question is, how are you feeling about yourself, like physically, okay, energetically? How are you feeling about yourself when you're looking in the mirror, when you are just walking around in your house, walking around outside in the world? How you feel when you're picking up your kids from school? How are you feeling physically, okay, and emotionally? Yes, internally and externally. How are you feeling when you're stepping into the office, right, making that phone call that you need to do for this client or for work? How are you feeling when you're showing up on Zoom for that meeting? Okay, so this is what I want to talk to you about in this video today, is prioritizing yourself this fall. Really setting self-respecting boundaries and practicing, incorporating, making it a priority of really fitting into your day-to-day or weekly if day-to-day is not a possibility. But I really encourage you day-to-day prioritizing real self-care. And I'm going to talk to you about that in a moment, what real self-care looks like. Okay? Because here's the deal. If you have clicked on this video and you're still with me right now, you are someone that has never really been good at prioritizing yourself. You're someone who has always put other people before you. Right? And here's the thing, like that makes sense especially if you are a mother, right? And you have littles to take care of. If you are taking care of someone that's sick, right? Maybe you are a CEO, okay? Or you are a manager and you like run a business, or you have this significant leadership role, right? Like thinking about a client of mine, she has her own veterinarian practice. Like she's got to take care of business, right? But she also has to take care of herself, being a single mom with 5 kids, and not so much support from, their father. Okay. So here's why I want to talk about this, is because if you aren't good, nothing else is going to be good in your life. You're really just going to be running on this hamster wheel and just living in survival mode. That's what it's going to be. And that is only sustainable for so long before you have a mental breakdown, before you have a heart attack and you're not even, you're in your 40s or 50s. That can happen, right? You got to prioritize you. I know society, people in your life and your family, maybe you're not very cooperative ex, right, that you have children with, they're not going to be supportive in this. Right? They have probably put into you that you're selfish, you are neglecting your children, you are a terrible person if you are taking care of yourself and your needs and doing what is self-honoring and healthy and self-respecting for you. Okay? We're going to dive into this today. Before we do, just want to introduce myself. If you're brand new to my channel, my name is Nikki McMillan. I am a life and relationship coach for women. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into this. We're in October. You got 1 quarter left of 2025. And you're like, I really want to go out with a bang. I really want to go out feeling confident. I really want to go out feeling proud of myself. I really want to go out feeling more like self-assured and safe and empowered this year. So that way I can step into 2026 really living life in alignment and being my authentic self. Right? Now, just so you know, you don't have to, you can choose this any day, but I will tell you, it takes reps. It takes practice on really getting good at setting boundaries, on speaking your truth and doing this, with emotional regulation, right? And respectfully, and standing by them. It's going to take practice. So that's why I want to talk about it, in this fall, because it's like, if you can get a good 90 days under your belt, You're going to step into 2026 a whole new freaking woman. How does that sound? Is that something that you want? Let me know in the comments as I take a sip of my tea here. Is that what you want, stepping into 2026? Really stepping into, okay, here I am now. I'm in my 40s. I'm like no nonsense, still loving and caring, but I'm going to really start living life in a way that feels good to me and that feels true to me. And that's in alignment with my values and goals. Is that you? Let me know in the comments. Yes, if it is. And if it is, my love, bravo. And I say that like bravo, like congratulations, because most women won't do this. Most women would never figure this out or have the courage to start living in alignment with their values and like their goals, what's important to them. And the reason why, this isn't a judgment, this is me just speaking my truth, very direct. But I want to explain this too, why most women won't do this is because they don't have the skills. They don't have the support. They don't have the tools, or they just don't even know that this is an option. But if you follow me and you subscribe to me and you plug into my videos, you're going to learn this skill. You're going to learn how to be a self-respecting woman, okay, and prioritize your well-being. And that's going to spill into all these other areas of your life and completely change the game on how you live from this day forward. Okay? So back on track here, self-respecting boundaries. I'm going to give you some personal recent examples. Listen, in every video, I'm going to have an example, whether it's from my personal life or from a client who I would never say their name because I want to protect their privacy. But I'll give you a personal example here. I was setting a self-respecting boundary over the weekend, and it wasn't really responded to well by everybody that was involved in the scenario. And here's the thing. I was proud of myself that I spoke up and explained how I understand the situation on why plans are changing. Yet I am still disappointed. And in the future, I'm wondering, is there any way that we can minimize cancellations, minimize, not showing up? And I did this in a very respecting and loving way. And this is someone that I've been practicing setting self-respecting boundaries with for over a year, a family member. And this person took it, actually, I was surprised. They took it with very well this time, me speaking up and expressing how I felt. And they probably took it very well this time. They definitely didn't the first time, but after a year, and a lot can happen within a year, to where people just start changing their ways, their perspective, their behaviors, because they're realizing that, okay, this isn't working, right? And so that can happen. And let's not just say this person, let's also put ourselves, okay, in look at ourselves too. Whenever I'm saying this person or giving examples, I'm also okay, I need to continue practicing this too. And I'm doing it, and there's some, I'm not perfect. But what I will say is that whenever you start, when I set a boundary with this person, I wasn't expected them to take it so well and be understanding and find a way to, still show up in the way that they could. And then there was another person who didn't take it so well, or maybe I felt that they didn't take it so well, but I just felt a little what is happening here? Just a response, right? It was more people than two involved in the situation. But it's I reflected on this, and I'm I don't regret how I, what I said, standing up for myself, speaking my truth, letting them know that I'm disappointed. I feel like I did it very tactfully. I feel like I did it very respectfully. And I will be honest, I was a little triggered by a lot of plans falling apart, because this is the second time I'm trying to put this gathering together. And maybe with people not showing up on time, plans changing, I got a little triggered, and maybe I responded in a way that was overreacting. and I would take responsibility for that. And getting back on track here, I'm very proud of myself for speaking my truth and standing up for myself and seeing if there was another way to have these plans follow through on. And because I did that, I wasn't like, oh, okay, that's fine, not being a pushover, but really saying, I get it, I understand, and is there a way, right? Can so-and-so still show up? I'm so proud of myself for going that extra mile to see if we can find a way to make this work. And we did, ultimately. But it requires, and I'm sharing this kind of like breakdown for you because it requires you. If you're going to start setting self-respecting boundaries, it's going to require you to get uncomfortable and maybe sweat under your armpits a little bit. It's scary speaking up. It is scary expressing how you really feel. And you want to do it in a way to where it's like, appropriate. Right? And that takes practice and that takes, the reps. Okay. And you got to learn skills. But here's what happens when you get really good at setting self-respecting boundaries. Your relationship dynamics, maybe not immediately with that direct person, if you can think of someone in your mind, my love, to where you're like, maybe, for example, it's like your mom, right? Maybe your mom's like really just kind of like overbearing. She's a bit like dependent on you. She's like a bit enmeshed with you, whatever it is. She's always calling, or she's always complaining to you about like, personal things, or she's just dumping her stuff on you all the time. And it's like, hey, I'm the kid here. Like, I'm an adult kid, but like, I'm still the child here. Like, we need to have some type of like boundaries here. Like, if you start telling your mom, not saying that she's going to be okay with this or get it right away, but like telling her, or maybe you don't tell her, you don't take the phone call. You hear me say that a lot. You don't have to pick up every single phone call in this example from your mother. You don't have to return every text right away. And you can end the call and interrupt them on their dumping and say, you know what, I gotta go. I have this on my schedule. I gotta do it. And then you can get to a point to where you're like, and this is actually what had happened with someone in my life, to where I got to a point to where I'm like, when we do talk, I just feel like drained. I feel like I'm just being dumped on. And sometimes I feel like there's like you're closed-minded with stuff, or it's just not a mutually energetic, give and take. And that's why I want to take some space from the relationship, or communicating a lot, or changing subjects, right? Like, you can do this. It's going to be scary, but you can do it. And that is actually, right? That's what a self-respecting boundary, that's the inner work, right? It is, well, I'm going to get into that in a second, because the more that you do the inner work and really take care of yourself and prioritize yourself, right? Really take care of yourself physically. And when you take care of yourself physically, you start feeling better emotionally. Like, when you start doing that, this is like the real self-care piece part of this video. It's going to be easier speaking up, having uncomfortable conversations, and really standing firm in them, because you feel good, safe, grounded, healthy, solid within yourself. Okay, does that make sense? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, I get that. Or, huh? Okay, because the second part of this video, one, self-respecting boundaries, got into that. But in order to do that, you have to get really good at practicing self-care. So what do I mean when I say self-care? So when I say real self-care, practicing it, what I mean is, like, you got to take care of yourself physically. Because if you take care of when you take care of yourself physically, everything is going to change mentally and emotionally. So if you're someone who puts exercise, like, it comes in like third place or second place, I really encourage you to like make that like second or first place. To move your body, because when you move your body, that you're energetically, you are getting, you're healing. Okay, energetically, emotionally as well. And you are telling your body that you care about yourself. Let me tell you something. When you feel very strong and safe and confident in your body and in your mind, you're able to have uncomfortable conversations, aka set self-respecting boundaries where really needed. You're able to really start speaking up and asking for that mistake to be fixed. You go to Starbucks, they don't make it the way you want to. You're not just going to settle for it. You're going to say, hey, this is actually the wrong milk. Can you redo it? Right? You're like, that's speaking up. It sounds little, but it's actually huge, because that is the preference. Okay. That is the pre-work. You speaking up in these small situations at the coffee shop, please remake the coffee. It's not the correct one. That is going to spill over into you saying, hey, mom, you call me a lot. I love you, but this is not healthy for me. You calling me 5 days a week and wanting to talk for an hour. I can't do it anymore. We're going to have to peel back. It starts speaking up in that small situation first, right? It's like going to the back to school meeting and you are learning about where your child's going to school, what the curriculum is going to be, what the schedule is going to be, right? And then you raise your hand. Okay, so can you tell me a little bit more about what they're going to be learning here? Right? If you don't really understand it, can you tell me a little bit more about this? Or can you tell me what happens when bullying's happening? Can you tell me why there is only 20 minutes of recess? What else are we doing that is keeping the kids active? These are just examples. You don't just sit there. You got to raise your hand and ask a question. I'm telling you, it's going to spill over into some of your most challenging relationships. So where you're going to start speaking up, right? Expressing yourself respectfully. Okay. And no longer feel resentful or be passive aggressive in these relationships. You feel so good about yourself. You feel like you really are loving yourself and respecting yourself. You're going to want that in day-to-day relationships. This is what empowerment looks like, sounds like, and feels like. You just become no nonsense. I'm a very loving, compassionate, patient, understanding, respectful person. I definitely see myself that way. I'm not perfect. I do have my moments, but I feel very empowered and confident, and I can be compassionate and hold space. I could be empathetic to where it's not, affecting myself. And because I take care of myself, I'm really good at setting self-respecting boundaries. And there's nothing super special about me. You can do this too. You absolutely can do this too. Okay? I'm going to be talking a lot about this month of October, this fall reset of self-respect, okay, of confidence, and of healthy lifestyle habits. So if you want to join me for that, definitely subscribe. Here's the other thing that is very exciting, and that is going to be a lot of fun and just really transformational. In January, I'm hosting my signature women's retreat in Naples, Florida. I've rented a beautiful Airbnb. It's an intimate retreat. There's limited spots. We're going to be making nice, organic, communal dinners together. We're going to be doing a lot of inner work around healing some stuff and creating a new story that you have of yourself and your life and how it is. We're going to be rewriting your story, reprogramming some better, healthier concepts of yourself, okay? You're going to be learning, and we're going to be practicing doing group work on practicing using your voice and setting boundaries, right? Having uncomfortable conversations. We're going to be doing some light movement, working out. Maybe that's something that you've been struggling with for a while, really making time to take care of yourself because you feel like it has to be an hour, and it really doesn't. Right? So I'm going to be teaching you some of those habits. All right. And you're just going to be really connecting on a deeper level with other like-minded women who, if you continue to pour into the friendships, the relationships, if they feel aligned, you're going to have these friends forever. So if that is speaking to you and you're okay, in January, I want to give the best gift to myself ever, healing from my past, and showing up as a confident woman unleashed from this day forward, give yourself this gift. sign up for my signature women's retreat. It's in January, it's in Florida. I'll put the link in the description so you can learn more of the details. I'd love to have you there. And spots are very limited. So if you're interested, like, register fast, okay? And we can even have a call together, talk more about it and see, if it's really a fit for you. Okay. That's it for today. I know this video is a long one, but let me know, like, is this helpful? Is this landing? Are you getting it? Okay. Like, what are you going to do next? Let me know in the comments below. All right. Thanks for being here with me today. Let me know if this was helpful. I appreciate you. And I will see you again next Tuesday. Bye for now.